let's get ready to have the training session. So there's a couple of things that we have to get together first. We're always going to have a push and a pull that we're working on. I'll tell you what that means in just a moment for your horse and also for yourself. So a push is something that's going to push you just a little bit out of your comfort zone. And so that's going to be a physical exercise of some kind. So that is going to be maybe jumping jacks, something like that. That also is a push because if you start doing jumping jacks around horses that aren't really used to that, that could be something that helps push them sort of out of your personal space. So you want to have one tool in your tool belt that you can use to push them away, and a physical exercise is definitely one thing you can do. So we'll definitely be practicing whatever works good for you. If it's jumping jacks, if it's squats, if it's side bends. Right now, I want you to choose one of those, and that's the one you're going to concentrate on when you're stuck or when you need a push for your horse. The next thing that we're going to need for the horse is we're going to need some kind of a personal pull. So a push is going to be a level of exercise, and a pull is going to be a way that we're going to draw them to us. And we're going to draw them to us with our breath primarily. That's the main thing that we're going to use. So what I want you to do is practice with me right now. Take the deepest, biggest breath that you've taken all day. Hold it. And release. What this is going to do is lower your heart rate, and it's going to help you to stay more calm and focused during the training session. So remember, for yourself, you're going to always want to stop and do one of two things. You're either going to do a little bit of physical exercise, or if you just need a break and you need to think about your next move, take a deep breath in like this. And let it out. Also, let's not forget to think about our posture. Tummy in, shoulders back, knees slightly bent, because when you're doing a training session with the horse, you might be out here for a little while, and so you want to make sure that you're a little bit warmed up, you're physically ready, so that you're much less likely to trip or fall or have some kind of a problem when you are exercising and training your horse. So the next step after that is going to be making sure that the horse is ready. You're going to set yourself up for success. The way that you're going to set yourself up for success is you're going to make sure that all of your horse's husbandry needs are cared for. Okay, well, what the heck does that mean? So that is just your horse's basic everyday needs that you're probably the one that is responsible for. So for example, it's going to be food and escape from the heat and escape from extreme cold and not having any thirst and not being lonely. That's really important. We want to always think about the fact that our horses are herd animals. And so if you want to make things hard on yourself, then just grab that horse and put them somewhere by themselves where you can't see any friends and watch them panic and have a hard time learning anything that you want them to learn. I know it seems like it's a better thing to do, but actually it's a little bit of a hack for you to have a companion with them so that they learn that that's one problem they can't fuss with you about is being lonely. And they're not going to be hollering for other horses or pacing and looking for their friends if they have a friend that's right here. Now, if you keep your horse by yourself and you don't have a companion for them that they can be with, for training purposes, you may want to consider getting them a companion. It's very important for horses to not be alone, whether it's a goat or a llama or even a barn cat. Something like that can be really helpful for horses so that they feel more calm and relaxed. So we want to make sure that their husbandry care is all taken care of first. That means free choice exercise. So these animals have had some free choice exercise before we even started this training session. So that's my number one most important thing, is make sure they have an opportunity to blow off some steam first thing. Sometimes people wait to do that at the end. You can do it at the end again, but definitely start with letting them have the opportunity. It's very important for horses that they get to stretch their legs and kick and run and buck and play, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes before you start your training session. The next thing to make sure about is that they're not hungry. It's very important that animals are not hungry. No animal is gonna, how well do you learn when you're in a classroom setting if all you can think about is that you just really need a candy bar right now because you're so hungry? That's one of the biggest misconceptions with positive reinforcement, is that people think that we withhold food from animals in order to force them to perform, such as marine mammal parks. That couldn't be further from the truth. As an aquatic veterinarian, I can tell you this for a fact. Animals are not starved to work for their food. If they did, they wouldn't do it nearly as well. It's really for treats, for extra things. And so that's the same thing that we're going to be doing here, is first of all, make sure our animals are not hungry. So I want to give them plenty of opportunity to eat free choice hay, maybe some alfalfa hay if that's appropriate for them, just so that they have, again, no excuse to not play along with you. So they get them some exercise, make sure they're well fed, make sure they have a companion, set yourself up for success. The other thing I wanted you to do in the beginning when you very first start is always work with your horse in what we call protected contact. So I can just hear some of the shenanigans that are going on behind me. I definitely would not want to be in there with them right now while they are fussing around with each other like that. So in the beginning, I highly encourage you, whether it's a brand new horse or a horse that you're retraining or a horse that you haven't worked with all winter long and now it's time to get them ready for the summer, definitely start with protected contact. That way you can establish a great relationship with them and maintain your safety. And also it forces them to not have the excuse to fight against whatever you might be doing to them as far as ropes or halters or anything like that. They're all on their own. They have their own free choice, so they can participate or not. And if they want to, that is the goal we're looking for, so that we can get them to want to spend more time hanging out with us. So without further ado, let's get started.